Natalie, thanks for joining us here today.
Thanks, Cath. Good to be here.
Now, I think you might be one of the most high-energy women I know, and you've done so many things. Tell me just a couple of the things that you've done in your life.
Recently, I started off writing a book, and it was a parenting book. I wanted to help overwhelmed mothers. And then I moved towards helping entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs, overwhelmed entrepreneurs. And lately moving into the wellness space because I found that people are struggling to be a happy mom or happy entrepreneur because they struggle with the wellness.
Yeah, and actually doing those two things simultaneously is a struggle for a lot of people.
It is. It's a challenge. I call it juggling the mother load.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, what I found is that a lot of people, they're living either in the should zone or the frustration zone of life, whether they be working, business, kids, no kids, whatever.
Yeah.
And I found that where they want to get to is what I call the up your brave zone.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
And up your brave.
That's right.
Woo.
And in the up your brave zone, you're not necessarily like feel the fear and do it anyway, but you're living from this place of intentional actions and empowered choices. And so you have energy. Like I have a lot of energy because I do what I love doing.
Right.
And I think if most people move towards doing what they love doing, they're not in the should and the frustration zone.
So how do you go about upping your brave?
Well, I think really the simple thing is to say what you want, like to actually voice it, and then to move towards it. So take actions to make it happen.
Yeah, well, typically people don't really say what they want. They have like a secret hope or wish or ambition. So say it out loud.
Yeah, to say it out loud. And I don't mean just say whatever you want and who cares what people think, but I mean say what you genuinely desire to do, and then people are speaking truthfully instead of trying to dance around each other and, oh, I really want to do this, but I wouldn't want to offend so-and-so. It's like, just say what you actually want to do. And if everyone did that, I do believe the world would be a happier place.
Yeah, and when you first upped your own brave, what did you declare?
What did I declare? Well, I think like many people, I've upped my brave a number of times. I'm a Canadian Kiwi, so I packed up my bags and moved across the world, and I've done a few exciting, adventurous things. But I guess one of the things is when we moved after the Christchurch earthquake to Auckland, and we essentially started again. We started over. Yeah. But I think doing what you want, and I guess I declared that we could start over. You can move your life towards whatever you want to do.
Yeah. So people will say though, oh, I can't do what I want. You know, I'm a parent and I've got to look after the kids. I'm a husband, I'm a father, whatever I am, I'm hemmed in by my circumstances. What would you say to them?
I would say flip it. So try to flip it and say, well, what if you could? And how would that feel? And when they connect with how it would feel, because it's not necessarily doing the things, it's how doing the things makes you feel. So if they connect with that, and then they stop with all those things, which are reasons, they're kind of excuses, and some of them are valid. Yeah. But if they really connect with how they would feel, and they can start to see that, I think they can start to navigate their way through.
Right, okay, got that. So you need to kind of generate that feeling, and then go, oh, I like feeling this way, now I'll go do the actions. Yeah. So people are often deterred from doing what they want, often by well-meaning advice from people that care about them. What would you say about that?
Well, I think some people, they have the pursuit of perfection, so they don't move towards what they want. They're afraid, or they're afraid of failure, or they're afraid of what other people think.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite bits of advice that I give, and I teach this to my kids as well, is care what other people think, but care what you think more.
Wow, I love that. That really is about relying on your own intuition, isn't it?
It is, and it's about thinking, well, I'm going to try this thing, or I'm going to change my job because I don't love my job, or I'm going to move to a different country, and it's like everyone will have their opinion.
Yeah.
But it's like if you know why you want to do it and how that's going to make you feel. So of course we care what other people think, but we care what we think more.
So when people up their brave, what kind of results do they typically generate?
Well, they suddenly are living from this place of empowered choices, and they're in the zone of love, I call it, where they're doing what they actually want. So I work a lot with speakers, some people wanting to get their message out wider. And they're scared. They're scared of what people will think. They're scared of looking bad. Yeah. But when they do it, they are over the moon. They're so excited.
Yeah. And when you introduce this concept of up your brave to people, like they might be terrified, I don't know, how do they typically respond?
Well, often if I'm speaking to a room of people, they will come up to me after and they'll literally say, oh my gosh, I never realized I'm living in the should zone. Or, oh my gosh, I'm in the zone of frustration. I never realized where I was.
Yeah.
And when they realize how they've been living, then they can make it, and that it's not comfortable and they don't want it anymore, they can make a change.
Yeah, and that's interesting because we call it the comfort zone, but often it isn't that comfy.
No, it's not. They're not even happy there. So we've got the should zone, the frustration zone, and actually before that, the disconnected zone. And that's where people are just living their life on autopilot. They're not even doing what they love. They're just going through the motions.
Yeah.
And all three of those zones, where they want to get to is the brave zone.
Yeah, got that. That's awesome advice for everyone. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.